Hi, I'm Nikolai, aka 56Miner, and today we're unboxing our June Basics box. This month's box is all about color pencils. We'll go over some foundations of the medium, and we're super excited to introduce you to a new product that allows us to make color pencils act more like watercolor. We've got a lot to cover this month, so let's get into it. For our surface, we have a SketchBox signature cold pressed paper pad. This rough textured paper is perfect for color pencils as it'll allow us to add a lot more color to the page without having to press too hard. This month, we partnered with Derwent to bring you a custom 6 set of the ChromaFlow color pencils. These color pencils are highly pigmented and offer a really rich and vibrant color. Due to their soft core, we can get a nice smooth texture when shading. Using a very light hand, we can see how that textured paper really grips onto the pigment and allows us to build color really quickly. This technique is called soft pressure blending, and while it can take some time, it is really rewarding when you want a high level of control with the colors you're laying down. By going over the same area, we're covering more of that page with the color pencil pigment, so it's going to appear to be a lot darker. We can always lighten our hand in order to get a more softer value, and we can use 2 different gradients in order to blend color. Here you can see I'm building up that red from an opposite direction, but I'm making sure that that center is a very light pressure area. I'll go back over with our yellow again, and you'll start to see just how blendable these ChromaFlow color pencils are, as it'll create a new intermediary color. Our next technique is going to be called hatching. Hatching is when you create directional lines in order to kind of attribute an idea of form to whatever you're drawing. By reducing the pressure that we use, we can still get those very light values, and then we can increase our pressure to get darker or more distinct lines. We can also cross hatch, which is just layering those lines in a different direction, but if you go too heavy with that, you can flatten out your image. This next technique is called burnishing. So burnishing is when you layer a light color on top of a darker color in order to create an illusion of form. So I've already gone and set down a darker blue, and I go over it with a lighter, and you'll see that it adds just a little bit more dimensionality. Now you can always go back in with that darker color to layer it, but I do suggest to end with that light color as you're building pigment from the farthest back to that top layer. It'll help to make your blending look a bit more consistent. The next item in our box is going to be a bottle of the Melts Holbein Color Pencil Blender. This allows us to use color pencils more like a watercolor. Let's grab the Princeton round brush in a size 2 included in our box and explore what we can do with that Melts product. I've gone ahead and created a couple of gradients, focusing more on warm colors and cool colors. By dipping our brush in just a little bit of that Melts, we can use it in order to activate the pigment and spread out that color a bit. The Melts product works best with oil-based or highly pigmented color pencils and allows us to push that pigment around and kind of remove a little bit of that texture from the cold pressed paper. If you've been a subscriber for a minute, you know that I love floral illustration, so I'm going to do a quick sketch in order to explore the other properties of our Melts product. If you're not the biggest fan of floral illustration, try using our prompt, Mystical, to get some inspiration this month. With my base sketch established, I'll go in with our Melts and activate some of that color pencil. Our green is going to get a bit more saturated and a little bit more yellow, and our yellows are going to turn really vibrant. Try using the Melts in order to soften any sketch lines that you may lay down, and you can always go over the Melts with a color pencil in order to increase the value range. Let's grab the next pencil in our box, the Faber Color Pencil in Burnt Ochre. This hardlit pencil is great for sketching, and I like to use it to add in some final details on top of the ChromaFlows. So I'll use it to outline our petals and create some depth marks. Now the Melts will reactivate it a little bit, but I prefer to use this pencil on its own, that way I can create some fun textural elements. Let's grab the last item in our box, the Polycolor pencil from Kohinoor in black. Because color pencils are such a great drawing medium, this month I thought it'd be fun for us to go through the process of creating a crystal. I'll start by establishing our main shape, that outside outline of the crystal. Then I'll move on to create the main facet, so the largest side, and then build off smaller facets from that shape. This will help give our crystal a bit of visual interest, And then we'll connect our interior lines to that outline to give a sense of structure. Let's take everything that we've learned so far and use it to create a more realistic crystal. So I've gone in and identified our largest shape, and I'm building out those facets and those structure lines. With that complete, I'll go in with my lightest color and start to define some areas, using that melts to kind of blend out that color and make a soft transition. While crystals or precious stones or glass and are relatively smooth, I do like to keep some of that texture as it just affords a fun effect. You can increase the shine on your gemstone by increasing the contrast between your dark and light areas. That's all for this month's video. Hope you enjoyed it, learned a few things, and if you post your work online, make sure you use hashtag SketchBoxJune. We love seeing what y'all create each month. And if you want to check out any of our previous videos, head over to our YouTube channel where you can like and subscribe. And I'll see you next month.